What's up, everybody? Drew from Future Strategy Gaming. Thank you so much for coming and checking another reaction time video with me. We're going to jump into Bellular's Final Fantasy XIV journey and the future content plans of Final Fantasy XIV, especially since with Endwalker, we're obviously going to see the world break in some capacity, which has never been done. So let's see what he has to say.
I can see a lot of people getting to like Shadowbringers and being like, or to a certain part in Heavenward's patch content and going,
This is where the last video ended.
What in the fuck is going on here? But it's all stuff that's explained to you and stuff that will be explained later. So if there's ever a point where you're going, what's going on? It's like you can have faith that it actually that will be capitalized on
At some point
further down the road.
Yeah.
In some capacity, which really means you have to have your brain on, remember everything you're told, or at least have someone who remembers it all, like Matt from our Discord, who
said it in the last video. Google the balance
right
Final Fantasy XIV Discord. Go join
I don't
it.
know what to call him outside of a genius FF hero, but
I think there's three supers that are kind of supporting to this.
yeah.
Eternal Fellow saying, can't wait to see Bell deal with the moral questions he'll have to wrestle with from villains by the time he hits Shadowbringers. Me too. Thank you for the super, and me too, because yes, that's been built up to me.
Yeah,
We've
pretty
got
much.
Gavin Schmackle saying, glad you guys are covering one of my favorite games. Here's a month sub on me. First of all, cheers.
Thank you very
Second, I
much.
mean, man, yeah. It seems like this is so many people's one of their favorite games, and like
It's because they do such a good job.
with the WoW audience as well. Nino here saying, isn't it nice to play an MMO and to have its music on? Soken is a gift to this world.
Really is.
Yeah.
The music so far has been so good.
And it gets so
And
much
I know
better.
I'm only in Realm Reborn. And it will get
I
better.
believe a lot of Realm Reborn was actually composed by Uematsu, the usual FF composer.
Well, I really like his
And
music.
Soken did a lot of arrangement for it as well.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then Soken takes over in the biggest way later on, where he does the where he does all of it to the point where he is the Guinness World Record for. This is actually later in the document.
Yeah.
Miles or something.
Oh my God, no. What just happened?
He is the Guinness World Record for. This is actually later in the document.
Thank God.
He is the Guinness World Record for most original tracks in a game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he, if you haven't seen the Lahi video, Google Lahi Soken. LAHEESOKEN. It's well worth it. Definitely take a look at the video interview at the end of FanFest when he talks about his cancer diagnosis and what he went through. Guy really just knows his stuff. Plus, there's not a lot of games that have in-house bands. I know WoW has one. It's something Chieftain or something, but they don't utilize it very much. They've got the primals, and they do a lot of the music for a lot of these boss fights. It's pretty badass.
Something like 386, and that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, so it's probably way higher.
That's a complete lunatic.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, I do enjoy WoW's music.
Yeah.
Especially
Some of it.
Whenever WoW is more chilled out, I really like it. So,
Yeah.
so TBC, it's got one of the. I think TBC and Wrath
Was,
have got
yeah,
like,
TVC Wrath,
some
and
of the
then
best soundtracks WoW has ever had. As a
Mop
video
was
game
good.
soundtrack where the soundtrack is supporting the mood of gameplay.
Yeah.
And the sort of the zones.
And
that they're
then
in.
Shadowbringers
My
actually,
main
I feel like
criticism
does
of
a
the
good
modern
job.
WoW stuff is sometimes it's just too big. It's too big of a sound. It's too
In the
full of a sound. It
cinematics,
goes
it's too big.
orchestral too quick, I find. Whereas, when it was Russell Brower just chilling, having to do the best out of his, I forget the name of it. It's like a big synthy thing that you can do a lot of orchestral stuff on from that time. And I think Russell, of that, he's like one of the people with the most plugins or most something because he, I don't know, spent loads of time. And I remember him talking about it. But yeah, I feel like sometimes WoW is just like too big, too loud. And there's just been something really nice with the FF stuff so far.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been honestly a really awesome experience. And I cannot wait to do more. We've got JAO also supering to say, where can I see you stream the game? I want to see reactions to the boss fights, certain
Not
cutscenes.
gonna do it very
I see
much.
that's big, right? I actually care about the game and the experience enough not to stream it,
Yeah, good.
and that's a
Good.
weird thing with me, maybe. But if I am kind of doing content that I'm comfortable with, I'm sort of fine and happy to stream that. But for me, in a game like FF, I want to be entirely immersed. And if I'm sitting there thinking about, okay, I've got to be entertaining to everybody, I've got to read chat and see what crack is.
It's too
with them,
much.
It's like in a game like this, I just have a feeling that I really need to
You're gonna
play
miss
it as
something.
a completely immersive story, free from all of that stuff. Just so that I can really get the most out of it. Because it's this thing, right? See, when you're streaming, you're never 100% in your brain.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're always just a little bit thinking about the meta of, okay, I'm streaming, I've got to do a good job for everybody watching.
Yeah,
You know,
putting on a show.
they're throwing their time and their money into this. I have to deliver the goods.
Yeah, you're presenting for people. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where, you know, I'd worry if that would make it harder to be deeply sort of deeply engaged.
Yeah.
But in, you know, I will be providing you with weekly updates via this as everything goes, and there.
I think that's a good,
we already have one video
healthy
queued up for next week for
decision.
the channel, and we will have more on the main channel.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm very excited about all this.
And to say that you'd be distracted while streaming is absolutely completely true. Because
Oh yeah, big
I
time.
have found myself being a little bit too distracted. First being on Discord with people, even during like the more gentle bits of MSQ. Later on, where I'm just reading some quest text, nothing big is going on. I'm just.
But somebody can completely ruin your flow. Happens to me all the
And
time.
even when I have like Twitter open on another monitor,
Hmm.
because I actually one of the reasons I threw up my second monitor, 'cause I usually only use one, but I threw up a second one in portrait, so I could read guides and talk to the boys on Discord while I was playing some endgame stuff. I'm like, you know what? I almost like there was a time I was like, I want to rip this monitor off this arm and throw it out the window,
Sure.
just because I can feel it's pulled some of my like memory from like this specific like couple of bits of dialogue away.
Yeah,
So
that could happen,
that's
man. That could
that's
happen.
a fairly major thing where I feel like I really feel like I'm wasting my time if I'm not giving it my full attention. At least
Exactly.
during MSQ stuff. Obviously,
Yeah,
if I'm in a dungeon,
like dungeons,
whatever,
raids,
like,
get
yeah,
after it. That's fun. But not while you're experiencing the story.
Saying, while I like seeing reactions, I'd rather you appreciate it. You're most immersed. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's how I want to do it, and I think that will
That's
mean that
cool.
when it comes to me doing impressions content or just any content, I'll be able to give you like an actual player's experience. It's one of those things where like it's sometimes hard to trust. I don't mean hard to trust streamers and YouTubers and like journalists in the game space, but it's like. I mean, Youngya actually did a video about this recently on his
I don't know
channel.
who
I
that
noticed
is.
where he basically apologized for Cyberpunk
yeah,
and, you know, how he reviewed
I
it and
remember that,
stuff. And a lot of that's just because, man, yeah, you only have so many days to do a thing. It's all content, and that changes how you appreciate it, how you engage with it. I'd rather
Unfortunately.
just go a bit slower and, you know, hopefully do it a bit more right.
Yep.
And we've also got Cass saying, if you do stream it, which I don't recommend, put the channel on emote only or remove it. No spoilers.
yeah,
That's probably how I do it, because anytime that, like, was it the thing about heroes and smiles or something?
a smile better.
A smile better
Yes,
suits a
it's
hero.
like anytime someone says that, chat just erupts into emojis and emotions. Which it does make me think.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of
there's
stuff
a lot
like
of
that where I
moments.
definitely feel spoilers, especially like stuff that's like short term would completely wreck your enjoyment of it.
It's funny, I
Because
just
not
brought
like
up
it's- Not
Lahi.
because it always pulls out massive things that are like, oh my god, big moments. It's literally just like if you experience the story as it is, even most of the decent stuff is just like it's just so much better going in completely. I mean, well, there's a couple of frowny faces and QQ's
there
after
we go.
saying,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big phrase. It goes to show how much. So I'm not gonna say anything about when it's said or anything, but it's just like that's a big moment for people.
We've got a few more sort of playing FF supers.
Yeah.
Forbidden Purple saying any chance could be recorded and be cut up into little highlight
Mm-hmm.
videos to be able to experience certain events with you, or will that be too immersion breaking? That it probably wouldn't be. We just need to set up like an actual way to do that.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean,
Like a
Dark
setup.
Cloud also supered saying, would you consider having a friend saying you'll want to clip yourself doing this for fans who want to see your reactions? Totally consider that. And there was another super I wanted to bring into this sort of whole thing, which is from.
But I also feel like that kind
that one's
of
from Dark Cloud. This one from.
that could bite back, because if someone comes in and is like, "Yo, I see what's coming up. Go ahead and clip this for you." You're expecting this big moment, and that's great because you're kind of already doing it, but it almost devalues that moment because someone else knows it's coming, so it can't catch you off guard, which is unfortunate.
You got it.
From Shadow Tycho, who said, can you record your reactions for certain points though? People will be 100% able to tell you when it will be worth. And there's somebody else said something about Shadowplay, to which all those things I will say, I've already been playing it with Shadowplay on. I will ensure that Shadowplay microphone is on, and I'll be keeping Matt up to date with where I am, and you'll be able to tell me what the bits are. Yep, because certainly I'm more than happy to chuck a camera on whenever I sit and go into the big bit and just see how it goes. Because From everything that I hear, they seemingly are able to pull off some pretty mind-blowing
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for 5-3 for sure. But that's because I don't
just seems
stream.
like it's
So
kind of incredible how people are saying lahi. I don't know what that means, but it seems like it means quite a lot. Yes,
Yeah, it does.
Biblioteca. Do Archimango, hello. Super saying 2 words that blew the FF14 away, and someday you'll understand. Lahi.
Lahi.
I don't know what that means.
It's actually further than this doc. It's not a big spoiler, though. It is further than this doc. It's a bit of music it's referring to. And a big community moment, let's say.
Yeah, it's a
That was
big
Soken.
community
Soken's gonna
moment.
like it. Yeah. Do you know Lahi?
Nice. Yeah, just Google what I told you to Google, Lahi Soken, and you'll catch that performance, which is great. And then Google the interview if you haven't seen it, because it's definitely worth your time in that situation. So, okay, cool. So some confliction with me on him, having somebody tap you on the shoulder and say a big moment's coming, put a camera up. Like I said, it could potentially, I'm not saying it would, but it could potentially devalue the moment because, basically someone's setting you up to be like, hey, here comes, spoiler alert, here comes something. It's like, yeah, you don't know what it is, but I don't know. You can unfortunately build something up in your mind in that situation that you, I don't know, ruins the experience. It would for me, I feel like, but it's each your own in that situation. Cool. All right. So it looks like he's gotten a little farther, not too much farther. I'm glad he was able to experience a dungeon with his buddy, and that's one of the huge benefits. If you have friends right now who are playing Final and they're like, hey man, I really want you to come and experience with me. You're like, oh, but you're max level and I'm this. No, dude, I got like all these different jobs. Even if that's not the case and I am max level, I sync down to you. So it's totally cool. Like it really allows friends to stay with friends. And that could be very, very powerful. So cool. Thanks so much for giving me your time today, guys. I'm Drew. This will be quick. Like the video, subscribe down below. Deuces.